Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we're talking about the green color in the second set of the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World, which comes out in a week from this Friday, which is really fun. I'm really excited to see all of these new cards and all the new decks that people build for this game. And real quick, if you guys want to see any of the new cards, they're all in my builder on my website, Eggman Events, and you guys can check that out. You can make decks, and they will be able to import into the online simulator in a little bit when it releases with the set 2 cards. But honestly, green was probably one of, if not the strongest colors in set 1 of this card game, and I don't think it's really going anywhere. Maybe it's tying with yellow or another color, but it's been looking really strong. It's got some really cool support cards, and I'm really looking forward to going over them. So we're going to go over some new cards that I like in particular, and then an example deck list with Cell as well. So let's just jump on into it. So here are just some of the new cards that I think are pretty interesting. We have this Cell Leader. It's pretty normal on the front side, and then on the back it says when attacking, draw a card, but also activate main once per turn if you have 5 energy, and it's exactly 5 energy, not 5 or more energy. Add up to 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. So you just get 1 free ramp for doing this, which is pretty nice, and it's pretty impactful for kind of how some other stuff works with it too. But just a single ramp I think is fine. The only issue is that if you are awakened by the time that you are at 5 energy, some decks don't attack you very quickly, and since green I think has like the worst self-awakening cards in the game right now. There's not a lot of ways to self-awaken as is, so because of that, I think there are just some chances where you don't get there, but either way, I think it's an okay thing, because if you don't get awakened early, it just means that you get some advantage later in the game too. So that's kind of like the new leader for green as well. But green also just got a lot of support as a color in general. I think Broly was like one of the best, if not the best leaders in set 1 as well, which I don't think is really going to go anywhere anytime soon. And I think Gohan also got some cool tools. Aandroidd 17 did as well too. But quickly going through some key cards. First, we got like these 1-drops. So we have this Kami, which is a 1-drop that KOs a 1-drop, which isn't too bad really, especially since it's a 10k counter. So this could be a good card if you need some more 10ks into the deck. We have this weird kind of Corrin synergy. So for 1, reduce the cost of extra cards with Corrin's Tower and their special trades from your hand by 1 green and 1 colorless. And then also we do have the same thing. So pretty much the card that you get to do this with is Sensu Bean. So you get to play the Activate Battle for free, but you still have to pay the 3 for the Activate main. So basically how these work is that you have to pay the cost, and then if there's an additional cost, you have to pay both for it. So the 3 energy doesn't take place over of the 2 on the top left. It just combines to it. So which you can still do. You can still ramp with it for 3 pretty easily, or just have this Activate Battle. So not terrible, but just kind of how that works and why Corrin is worded the way it is. Also, we have Spy Robot. I'm probably just coping on this one, but it's a 1-drop, activate main once per turn, choose 3 cards from your opponent's hand and reveal them. Do you just I don't know, like this is, we don't get a lot of reveal cards in Bandai card games. And I'm really curious to see how it works on the sim, if it's just revealed forever, or if you just get to C3 and then they go back to hand. But honestly, like, it's not terrible. It's just like a 10k eat 2, and there are some chances in some builds where you do get the advantage of seeing the cards in your opponent's hand. It's probably bad. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to say that's a good card, but it's an interesting card. If there are some like scenarios where knowing the cards in your opponent's hand, especially like late game, if you know which 3 are left, you know what your combo you have to do, kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's terrible, but I did want to mention it. We also do have Cell Junior. Maybe to go over this, we're going to talk about our 8-drop Cell real quick. I've already mentioned it, but it's our super rare or one of our super rares, but probably the best one from the set. Has on play, plays 3 cards from your energy in your drop. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and KO them. Then add the top card of your deck to your life. So being able to heal is strong. Being at 45k and getting rid of 2 bodies is very great too. So I think this is a pretty good card. Being able to ramp down from 8 to 5 is not great in a lot of leaders, but Cell makes it work, and I can show you real quick why that is. So for example, let's say you're 8 energy, right? Use Cell's effect, you lose 3 of them. With that effect, you're able to use your Cell leader effect to activate main to go from 5 to 6, and the 6th one is active. And then we also have a new card called Cell Games Arena, which I think is good. It might be terrible, but I think this has a real chance of being a really great card. Just activate main, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader is Cell, look at the top card of your deck and add it to your hand, or add it to your energy in rest mode. So being able to get ramp when you need it is very good. Being able to get potential card draw when you need it too. It just seems like a really good card. I know it's very expensive at 4, and like I think that's probably the one thing that would keep it back. That and like not being able to consistently see it all the time, but man, four energy for this just seems okay. And I think it can be. I don't know. I think it's strong for what it is. So I don't know. We'll see if it's good or if it's just too expensive. But I think with Cell, this can be very good. And essentially, so you go from 5 to 6, and then with your leader effect, you use this effect to go to 6 to 7. You start your turn, you go to 8. You play another copy of Cell if you have one, right? So I think that's strong. I think there's some ways to loop these, which is really good, and that's very strong in its own way. So that's kind of like the idea with it. And then we also have like the Cell Junior. I think this card is great. I think this card has a real chance to be a real menace. If you have a Cell battle card with a cost of 8 or more in your battle area, you can use this and play this card from your hand without paying its cost. So you just get a free 2-drop 15k, which isn't amazing, but it says on play, add up to 1 extra card from your drop to your hand. So that means you can get an extra copy of just so many cards that we're used to, like our 1-drop Gigantic Meteor, our Instant Kamehameha, how you can add those to your hand for free. The fact that this just also presents itself as a free attacker is fantastic too. I know it's not a 20k, but you can use it with like, for example, if you're trying to go for game, use your 8-drop Cell, play it, use your leader effect to go from 5 to 6, and then after you do that, you can play the Cell Junior for free, get a Gigantic Meteor, and then you have just another big attack, right? We get a, what, 30k 40k attack off Gigantic Meteor and Cell Junior for just free, right? For just having this one Cell Junior in your hand. So I think that's really strong. It can also be like 30k with Instant Kamehameha, but the deck just seems like it can be very, very good because of that. So I don't know. It could be bad, but I think it's worth it, at least trying in my mind. So the other 2 super rares we have is Sun Gohan Future and also Trunks Future. So this says all your battle cards that cost of 3 can't be moved from your battle area by your opponent's skills. And end of turn, you can either play a battle card with a cost of 3 or choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and KO it. So the idea is you play the Sun Gohan Future, you play the Trunks Future. On play, if you have 5 or more energy, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck in rest mode. And then also has this, when your battle card with a cost of 5 or more is removed from the battle area by your opponents, this card gets plus 10k power until the end of your next turn. So I think this is a little cheesy. We'll see if that's true or not. I don't think this is great. Synergy for it feels like it's a little bit expensive and it's a little bit clunky. Luckily, like Saiyans are like searchable though, so we could use like 1-drop Gohan to help find these pieces. But it just seems like it's a little bit too specific for pretty much just like 1 ramp and then like 2 bodies on the board. But we'll see if they're good enough, if they are like consistent enough. But it just seems like a lot for something that 2 other, like more cards just do a little bit better more consistently. So we'll see if those 2 are good, but I don't know. Anyways, going through some more cards. We do have also this Aandroidd 1718. On play, place 2 cards from your energy in your drop. If your leader is Aandroidd 17, add up to 3 cards within Aandroidd and their special traits from your drop to your energy. So not only do you get to get 2 more energy, or 1 more energy, but essentially this costs 2, right? Because you get the 3 energy back after using this. So that's pretty great. It's Aandroidd 1718, so it's searchable off your Jiro as well. So that seems really solid for you. And then you, again, have 3 energy to work with on the other side. So there could be some good ramp potential for this one. Unfortunately, you won't be able to play like Lab and then use Lab effect when you do this if you play it on curve. But otherwise, I think it's great in being able to do that. So being able to like play this card for technically 2 seems really, really strong. But you do have to run a lot of Androids, right? Because it has to be specifically Android cards from your drop to your energy, but that's there. So what else do we have? We do have like the 2-drop Sun Gohan Childhood, which is interesting. On play, place 1 energy in your drop at the top card of your deck to your energy. So if we end up having 5-drop Goku out, this lets you do a free ramp and a free cycle. So this technically cost 1 as a 20k, which is not too bad, though it does not have any counter. We also do have this card's just, this is a promo, so it won't be out on release. But this is, I think, one of the better promos for the deck. Choose up to 1 battle card with Earthling in its special traits and a cost of 4 or less, and add it to its owner's energy in rest mode. So any leader can do this. It can be removal. but also it can be ramp as well. So if you have like a 1-drop that you have a 1 or 2-drop, you can play this card, put it into your energy, and ramp it. So that's pretty good in its own right, right? It just depends if you can play some Earthlings for it. Again, this is a promo that won't be out on release, but can be pretty good. And the reason I mention it is also we have this other 3-drop cell, which is just a vanilla, nothing too fancy. But to kind of finish it off, we do have this Awakening to Perfect Form. So it's a 7-cost extra, so pretty expensive, but activate main, place 1 cell with a cost of 3 from your energy or battle area to your drop. Play up to 1 cell with a cost of 8 from your hand. So you're able to somewhat ramp. This is only ramping it by like 1, but you are able to do it pretty quickly. And if it's in your battle area, you can use it from your energy, which is a little bit stinky because then you go from 7 to 6, and then you use your cell effect, 8-drop. So you would go from 6 to 3, which is quite low. So you do have to be a little bit careful when you play this, but I don't know. I don't know if this card's worth it. It's probably too janky for it, but I did want to mention it because we do have like the 2-3-cost cells from like the new promo in this too. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit not good, but there it is. Any other battle cards I want to talk about? We have this new Broly. Activate main once per turn. If your leader is Broly, choose one of your battle cards and one of your opponent's battle cards, add them to their owner's energy and rest mode. So you can keep doing this if this card survives, which is really great. Sure, you get a ramp for your opponent, but you do get a ramp for yourself too, which is pretty good. And then you can like use your leader effect to lose it if you need the card draw. So it's fine. It's good like removal. I don't know if it's worth being the 7 cost, but I guess. And then if you have like no other battle cards, I guess you have to like hit yourself, huh? Which is really funny, but. I don't know. I think that there's just other cards like 8-drop Broly is still just such a good card, right? For like minimal cost that you have to just do that. We also have this weird kind of 3-drop Goku that does like the same thing. If your leader is Son Gohan Childhood, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, cost 5 or less, and add it to the owner's energy and rest mode. Then add this card to your energy and rest mode. So just like another way of ramping and like removal, but it's just kind of weird for what it is. I think it's probably fine because Gohan wants to get to later energy more, but just kind of weird how that's written as well. So I think that's all the cards I kind of want. We also have this Trunks Future. For what it's worth, I think there's like a viable deck for this potentially, where if we want to play like a more aggressive version of Cell, we just get to 5 energy, ramp for free, play this Trunks Future, we lose it, start of our turn, go from 5 to 6 again, and just like cap out at 6 and just get a lot of value off our 5 and 6 cost cards. Maybe it's bad, but I think there is like this, if that does happen, this is a card that could take advantage of us getting like a free energy every turn kind of thing. So I don't know, like 40k is a lot against every leader except for Broly and I guess Awaken Zamasu, or Zamasu Fused rather. They have to give a super combo and something else, which is pretty strong. So I don't know if it's worth it or not, but it seems like an interesting card for that. I think that's really it for the battle cards. So a couple extras real quick. We have the Earth Destroying Blow. Activate battle. Choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards gets plus 25k power for the battle. Then if you have 6 or more energy, look at the top card of your deck, add it to your energy or add it to your hand. Add it to your hand or add it to your energy and rest mode. So this is great, right? This is like a gigantic meteor for 2, and then it either like draws a card or it lets you ramp one, which is really good too. So I think this is solid for a card. Unfortunately, it costs 2, which if we're doing like the 8-drop cell combo we were talking about, we like lose out on an energy. So like we wouldn't be able to do it on defense after playing him. But in other scenarios, just being able to get a ramp if you're at 6 or more is fantastic when, again, we are a 7-cost leader. So like when we go from 5 to 6 with our leader effect, we can use Earth Destroying Blow to go from 6 to 7, and then we could go to 8 the next turn, right? So that's kind of strong. We already kind of talked about Senzu Bean. We also have Tragedy in Gingertown. This card could be really, really good, but I think it's bad. But I could see the other way. Activate main if your leader is Cell, choose any number of your battle cards with Earthling in their special traits and add them to your energy and rest mode. So it's like it's more times than not a worse copy of Gigantic Meteor, but sometimes you can get like a double ramp with it, which is really strong. So like if you play an Earthling on turn 1, play one on, if you even play like 2 1-drops on turn 2, you can go from 3 to 6, which is absurd for one card to do, right? You do lose like all the cards there, but that's an absurd amount of energy for you to gain. I think it's a little bit cheesy. I think there's a lot of decks that's going to have like early drop removals nowadays, but if not, this card can go pretty wild if not. So I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it is, because I think late game is kind of dead, and it's only good if you have like the setup on turn one, but there it is. And then lastly, I think we talked about the other ones intermittently. Those are just the ones we hadn't talked about. I think this card's good. I want this card to be good because it looks neat, but we'll see if it is. So anyways, those are kind of like the main cards I want to talk about, and let's go to the example build. So this is the one that I have right now. Again, we are using this 3-drop cell right now, which is not a legal card, at least like on release of the set, because it's only given out at like regionals, so in like a regional pack. So this one would need to be replaced for something else for that, but I do just kind of want to keep it there just to kind of show the general idea of what this deck could look like. So the bottom end is like a good amount of Earthlings, so we could use this 3-drop cell to ramp. We do have like this new 1-drop Balma that we really didn't go over, but I think this card's great in the deck. It's a 1-drop that just cycles, since we have just so many like dead cards in hand early game potentially with green in general. Being able to discard one, draw one is good. The fact that it's a 10k is pretty good. And it's an Earthling, which is important for the 3-drop cell card as well. We also do have the Sun Gohan Childhood. It's Saiyan and Earthling, so we do get that bonus, and we still get the draw on any of our Saiyan cards. Pretty much all our Saiyan cards, including our Instant Kamehameha and Gigantic Meteor. So Junior is kind of like I talked about earlier, but we can use it to grab Instant Kamehameha or Gigantic Meteor from our trash, and then being able to use that to either make it a 30k or 40k swing if we really need it to is really great. Or obviously we can attack with leader, combo with this, make it 30, and then add the boost here. So both those seem very good for us to try to like end the game. Aandroidd 18 is good too, being able to just get some cycle for us, draw one, trash one, and then if we get to 6 energy, which we do pretty easy, we are able to get the extra card draw. We're playing a couple copies of Trunks Future. Not only is it a 10k and a 2-drop, but it is also an Earthling. So this one's actually pretty difficult for most decks to remove on turn 2, which means that we can easily put this into our life with Cell, or into our energy with Cell, if we play the 3-drop, which is good there too. So that's kind of the reason we're playing that boy. Vegeta, just great, just generic ramp, and then also sometimes we need to get rid of a 2 cost that our opponent has, so being able to play this, get the ramp, and then discard a card, not too shabby there. 5-drop Goku, there's a lot of synergies with this card in a lot of decks, but specifically with this one too. If we lose an energy due to Cell and this card is out on the board, it just means that we get to get an additional energy back too. So we do kind of like miss out on like using our leader effect from it, but there's some scenarios if we're like at more than 8 energy as is, then we get like the energy back too. So it's interesting. It's probably not as needed in this deck, but just like the ramp potential for it is good, and the fact that it's searchable off Gohan is good as well. So it also means like we can use Instant Kamehameha a little bit more free, so even though we're only running 2, but there it is. We're playing just Sun Gohan Childhood just because, just for some removal if we need it, and it's a 10k as well, so not too bad there. 17-18, great card still. The double 3 cost or less removal is fantastic, especially if red is good with playing off their 3 cost like it has been for the last set. I think that's strong. And then Cell and Aandroidd 16. So, and then Sogan's Arena, again, this card could be bad. I'll fully admit that I haven't tested this card enough to know for sure, but it just reads like it's very good, and we have a lot of ways to discard cards in this deck anyways and get the cycle and everything else that I think it's worth it. Worst case, you just get a free ramp every turn, which isn't bad, and the fact that if you find a card that you need, you can draw it too, which is great. So if you need to go for game, you can do that too, and it's just very strong. So I don't have much more to say about this. Again, this is like a day 1 test deck, but I'm really looking forward to it and seeing what Cell can really do in this set too. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys appreciate this, and I'm really curious to see what you guys are building Cell and other green decks as well. So if you do have any builds, make sure to link them in the comments, and that's going to be it for me. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.